and welcome to another episode of Issues of the Moment. I guarantee you it is going to be interesting as I have one who you would like to call an articulate speaker, and she is the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. I'm talking about no other than, I know you want to find out, but that will be after this break. Stay with us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and before we went on a break, I told you I had a guest who I know you would love to meet. She is Mrs. Namre Emeje, and also the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you very much.
Now today we will be talking about quite a lot of issues under the umbrella of education. And you see, education is something that we cannot rule out in any nation at all, at any level. So, speaking of secondary education, let us start this way. What is the importance of secondary education in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. You see, secondary education is very, very important because it's like the midway to your achieving your goal in life. When you are born, you go to nursery, you go to primary school. All these stages, you are guided by your parents who keep taking you to school. You come back. Junior secondary school is actually free. From primary to junior is actually free in Nigeria. So that is compulsory for everybody. But you see, when you get to secondary education, from that point, you begin to find that students are getting more mature to begin to choose what they want to become in life. And so secondary education, without secondary education, you cannot go to tertiary. And so secondary education, very, very important, though neglected, so to say, because in Nigeria, secondary education is not compulsory. But junior education is compulsory. That is the basic education, is compulsory, and that is why it is free. But at secondary level, the government have decided that you choose whether you want to go to secondary school, or you want to do commercial, or you want to learn a trade, or it depends, you want to do business. So that is it. But when you look at it, secondary education is the basic, it's very critical, because it's at that stage and at that age that children are getting more mature to begin to take decisions in life that will help them for their livelihood as time goes on.
You just mentioned something that caught my attention, the aspect of junior education being free. Does it mean that anybody who wants to attend any government school at junior level could walk in without the financial empowerment and is sure to be sponsored through it by the government?
Very well. That is what it is.
I want to believe a lot of people are not aware of this, so this is actually good news to those who didn't know about this. Now, moving on, you see, it is one thing to be educated, but it is another thing to be educated by the right person or persons. At some point last year, and even before last year, there had been issues of incompetence amongst teachers, poor training, unqualified teachers and all that. What exactly do you think is the cause of this?
I would want to say that, you see, teaching is a profession, and there are professionals that are taught to be teachers. So when you get it right, you get the right things that should be impacted in the life of the students. The reason is because in secondary education board, for instance, we ensure that we employ graduates. And once you are a graduate teachers, those that are trained to be teachers, those are the ones that are supposed to be teachers. But I tell you the truth, you see, with so much unemployment in the country, you find out that there are some people that don't mind going into the teaching profession even though they were not trained teachers in the university. And if there is opportunity for them to be employed, they come in there and they want to now take a training in teaching. even though they were not trained as teachers from the onset. So I want to think that these are some of the reasons, that gave room for such things. When some people come in, not being trained teachers, and then later on they want to take a profession in teaching because there was no employment from the onset. But for us in secondary education board, what we do is that even if you are not a trained teacher and you have to be employed, you would promise us that within the first year of employment, you must go and then attain a postgraduate diploma in education. So that's what we do in secondary education board. You must go for a postgraduate diploma in education. Once that promise is on ground, you make a commitment. Then
written?
Yes. We have a form that we fill, and then we give you fill the form, say that within 1 year you go for your PGD, postgraduate diploma in education. So that helps you to bridge the gap in education. So as you bridge the gap in education, then you find out that you flow along.
Okay, does it mean to a large extent that there's a likelihood that majority of teachers in secondary school are probably graduates of College of Education or education graduates? Because what is really giving room for, at employment level, is there any law or any sanction or so to say that says when you are employing anybody, if the person doesn't have traces of education or is not willing to do that, then don't employ the person? Maybe that will curb all of this to some extent. Is there any rule?
Yes, that's why I said that, from the onset, because of lack of job in Nigeria, there are so many graduates that are hanging around, even though they are not teachers, they don't mind being employed as teachers to teach. And so when they come in, for us in secondary education board, we make them to enter a commitment with us that within the first year, if they must remain in secondary school to teach, then they have to go for a postgraduate diploma. And this postgraduate diploma is being taught by, we have a lot of schools that teach and take this postgraduate diploma. The National Teachers Institute is one that is very, very effective in running the postgraduate diploma program, which helps in bridging the gap between those that are not trained teachers but are willing to teach. They are not trained teachers because they don't have education background. Trained teachers are those that in their university days they did education. They have maybe BSc Ed or B.Ed. These are trained teachers.
Or someone who attended a college of education.
Those that attended colleges of education are not employed by us. We only employ graduates to teach.
Really?
Yes.
Graduates of
They are not qualified to teach in our secondary schools. Only graduates teach in our secondary schools.
What about those who attended teachers training
institutes? And colleges of education, they are only allowed to teach in junior secondary schools and primary schools.
Okay.
So that's the difference. For us in secondary schools, senior secondary schools, it is graduates that teach. Only graduates teach.
Okay, is there some sort of monitoring maybe board or so that sees to it that those people live up to their commitment?
Yes, they live up to their commitment because we have immediately they are employed, they are supposed to submit their certificate within that 1 year. And if after 1 year you don't submit the certificate, of course you'll be called upon to ask why, and then whatever is the reason, then we'll now take it up from there.
Okay, now the issue of skill acquisition has been up for quite some time, the importance and all of that, because people sometimes have come to notice that majority of the youth in Nigeria, maybe I should just narrow it to Nigeria,
yes,
they have the mindset that you are going to school to graduate to be able to work. Not really most of them know that you could actually be in school and be doing something by the side, acquire skills if possible, and then empower yourself. So at secondary school level, is there any provision for skill acquisition for students so that when they leave secondary school, even before getting admission into the university, they are empowered skill-wise?
Thank you very much. Very, very interesting, and I think it may interest you to note that for us in secondary education board, we are already on top of that situation concerning skills acquisition. And in 2012, the NERDC came up with a new curriculum on trade subjects that every school, secondary school, senior secondary school, must offer trade subjects. And what are these trade subjects? We have trade subjects like fisheries, poultry, garment making, tailoring, bricklaying. We have a retinue of about 35 subjects that make up the trade subject, 35 of them. And in FCT, we are offering 22 of these trade subjects. And so our students are doing fantastically well on this skills acquisition. So we teach them, and every child is expected to take at least one trade subject.
Okay, so they have the liberty to take more than
To
one.
take more, yes. At least one trade subject as part of what you do in your studies. And you write your national examinations, and that is WAEC and NECO. You write it. We have photography. We have a lot of them. And then we have teachers that teach this in the schools. We usually hold exhibitions, the trade subject exhibitions, and then we exhibit and show what our students are doing in schools. So we have that already, and we also have this partnership we have with the Sage Nigeria, which is a kind of an outfit that help children in this an advancement of entrepreneurship. So this entrepreneurship thing, they go for competitions. Our students go outside the country for competitions on Sage entrepreneurship, and they have even won outside the country. They won the competition and they have come back. And most of the times you find out that they are into this. Right now, one of our schools, Government Girls Secondary School Abachi, are producing sandals that we have just approved that it will be used for the school. It is the sandals that we have approved to be used by everybody, and it is produced by the students in the school.
That's an interesting one, you must say.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to more of it. It's
Yeah.
going to be a good thing to see our students be empowered skill-wise, and this is a welcome development, 100%. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, the discussion will continue. Stay with us. The program is still Issues of the Moment, and I'm still speaking with Mrs. Namure Emeje, and we are talking about secondary education in Nigeria, everything you need to know about secondary education in Nigeria. She is an embodiment of all the information you need to find out. Just throw it at her and she gives it back to you. Still talking secondary school. One very, very pertinent issue that is eating deep into the system is cultism. But you find out that it is usually played down on at secondary level. They make it seem like it is only at university level that cultists exist. Now, what do you think what is the situation of things as far as cultism is concerned, secondary school wise?
Well, I will not totally say that maybe cultism is eradicated in the secondary schools, because I want to believe that that is the starting point, that they begin from that level and take it into the tertiary institutions. But for us, we have put in a lot of measures to check these things in our schools. And one of it is that if we find out that there's any such vice in any child in the school, the child goes on expulsion immediately. Because we don't want to keep such children in the school, and then they become bad eggs that can
So they
corrupt
don't contaminate
the others. So
the
they don't contaminate and then corrupt the others. So if you are caught in that, you are just expelled from the school immediately. We don't want it to be so, and that is why I think we've been able to bring it down to a very, very, very low level. In fact, we have zero tolerance for cultism in our schools, and we don't have incidences of this cultism in our schools.
Perhaps that's why we even barely hear about it, because
exactly
it has been reduced. I remember one time, that was years back, when they caught some cultists in a secondary school in one of those states, and people were shocked that, the secondary school and all that. But then with time we stopped hearing news about cultism, so that's actually an evidence that you're doing a great job. Moving on, the area of poor infrastructure. I get to see pictures of some secondary schools dilapidated, and the environment is not too conducive for learning. Is there any form of intervention by the government or anybody to handle this key area? Because the environment for learning is very important.
Yes. Thank you very much. You see, education generally is expensive. Very, very expensive. And we all know that the government alone cannot do it. And that is why, like for basic education, which is primary and junior secondary school, they have some intervention. They have intervention from the commission. They have, that intervention fund. Tertiary institution, we have the TED fund, which comes in to intervene for tertiary institutions because education is expensive. But you find out that for us secondary school, we are left in the middle, like orphans. We don't have any intervention fund coming with a secondary school. And that is why you find out that it's only the government that is left to fund our secondary education, which leaves the burden so much on it. To be fair to the FCT minister has been doing a lot as regards education in FCT, especially the senior secondary school. He has been so liberal, and he's always been there to ensure that funds are released for us at the nick of time. But the problem is that the influx of people into Abuja has already put so much burden and weight on secondary education. Because when people leave and move and come with their families, they want to go into secondary school. Most of them, secondary education. And of course, the junior students that graduate from junior secondary school are also coming in to the senior secondary school. So you find out that the burden on senior secondary school is so much, and yet we don't have any counterpart funding. We don't have any counterpart funding. So the minister has been trying, and he has been doing that alone. And so that is what is responsible for our dilapidated infrastructure. So paucity of funds is the main thing. That's why you find out that our infrastructures are so old, and then there's no expansion, yet there are so many people coming in and they want this secondary education. But by the grace of God, this 2018 that just passed, the minister was able to put some money for us to be able to expand some of the schools that we know that need expansion, and then some of the structures to renovate, and then to also bring in some furniture into the school. So all that is already in place, and I'm sure in the next 2 to 3 months you begin to see a lot of development coming in our existing schools.
Okay, another good news there. Okay, before we wind up, maybe 1 or 2 more questions. The aspect of inadequate payment of teachers. These people are working, and you see sometimes that they pay transport fee to get to work. Some of them have to fuel their cars and all that. But then if the payment is not in tandem with what they do, then that's a challenge, because it takes one who is in the right state of mind to be able to pass knowledge to another person. So what do you think is being done regarding the issue of payment of teachers?
Well, I think that one is that one is beyond me here, because that is why we're talking about minimum wage. That's why Nigeria we're fighting for increase
so
in
it's encompassing this
minimum wage. We are all civil servants, the teachers are part of it. So if the minimum wage is increased, you find out that generally they will also benefit from it. Be that as it may, we try at our own end to motivate our teachers. And what we do, some of the things we do, like teacher training, we train them. And we also have some partners that come in, some of these organizations, they come in to assist and say, okay, we want to train some of your teachers on ICT, we want to train them on science, we want to train them on mathematics. So we have all these incentives that come in, both from some partners and then some NGOs and then some corporations. And that is it. Like recently, towards the end of last year, NCC donated computers
Yes,
to 8 of our schools. So you discover that these are some of the incentives that come. And then all these come in to help teaching and then learning. It comes in to help teaching and learning. So these are some of the ways that we do. And then, like another incentive for the teachers, we ensure at this secondary level that when a teacher is due for promotion, at least as much as possible, we ensure that their promotion comes as a whole, so that the promotion comes in to motivate them. They know that now they are being promoted. So with the promotion, at least the salary will increase a little. So these are part of the incentives that we put in and then try to ensure that they are also getting. Yes.
Okay, let us round off on this note with this last question. With your wealth of experience, what do you think, perhaps we should call it a recommendation or recommendations, what do you think can be done to enhance educational plan in Nigeria at secondary school level?
Well, the educational planning, let me just take them twofold. Educational planning as a holistic thing for secondary school, how to plan so that we ensure that if we plan well, this influence that we're talking about, when they come in, there is already a plan on ground for them to ensure that it's supposed to harness everything that is in there. Now, paucity of funds, like I said, is one of them. And the second thing is some of the motivations that you rightly talked about, the salary and then some things like that. But at our own end in secondary, we have a planning, research and statistics unit that is already planning towards the next 5 years. You understand? The next 5 years, the next 10 years. Actually, Education Secretariat as a whole, we have a document that we have planned for education, secondary education, for the next 10 years. But paucity of funds is a problem. Funds, release of funds to ensure that these things are done, because the planning involves how many classes we should, build this year, how many classes should be done, how many toilets, so that when these children come in, we find out that the things are really ready for them to come. But you see, when the money is not there to make sure that this planning program that we have done on ground is carried out, then it's a problem. But educational planning on the aspect of the children in school, in our schools, we have a guidance and counseling unit. Every school, we have guidance and counseling unit that counsel the children on how they can choose their course, how they can be better, and then how they can, become better people as they are leaving secondary education to move into the tertiary institution. So all that is already in place for the learning of these children, so that as the children are going out, you discover that, some of these children want to do something that is so weird. So we have these teachers who are specialists in guidance and counseling. So they guide them, counsel them and say, no, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And some of them that are following, they have become better people. We also have some scholarship schemes that some of these embassies are also giving to us. So we have a lot of our children, some of our students in China, we have some of them in America. They're giving them on scholarship, and they are there from public senior secondary schools. So you can see that the minister is really, really doing a lot in education. Together with the Secretary for Education, they are doing a lot to ensure that secondary education is taken to the next level.
Wow, with so much smile on your face when you said that, we're optimistic that there's hope, better future for secondary school students in Nigeria. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful speaking with you. I was enthralled throughout. We could go on and on with the discussion if not for time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine.
We do hope next time you would oblige.
I will.
Because I look forward to speaking with you again. My guest has been Mrs. Nanure Emeje, and she's the Secretary and Acting Director of FCT Secondary Education Board. And we've been talking about all things secondary school education. We do hope you enjoyed the conversation. Join us same time next time on the program Issues of the Moment. I remain your host, Eunice Johnson. Bye for now.